Subsidies, called feed-in tariffs for people with their own solar panels or wind turbines, are to be cut in a bid to limit the rise in general energy bills. The Energy Minister, Greg Barker, told a meeting of solar industry chiefs that the subsidised returns on renewable generation funded from consumer bills were unsustainable. Our business correspondent Sarah Smith reports.
How many solar panels are too many solar panels? 100,000 small schemes have popped up all over the country in less than 2 years, thanks to generous government subsidies. So many, in fact, they now say it's costing far too much. On a grey, overcast day like today, these solar panels can generate a bit of electricity, but not terribly much, and that's the problem. We have to accept we're not a very sunny country, and for that reason the government thinks our renewable future does not lie with solar power. They want to put their money into wind, and particularly offshore wind technology, and they say they just can't afford to do that whilst maintaining high subsidies for people who put up solar panels. The Energy Secretary has been actively encouraging people to generate their own electricity by putting solar panels on their roofs. But he knows this kind of micro-generation will never supply more than a tiny fraction of the power we need. If you have your own wind turbine or solar panel at home, you'll be getting 43 pence per kilowatt hour for the electricity you feed into the grid. A level of subsidy that is now likely to be halved. So many people installed their own panels, the government's paying out far more than they ever anticipated.
I want to make sure that the tariffs available get to as many people as possible, and that the budget we have isn't just hogged by a few lucky claimants, but actually spread very, very widely.
It did spread as far as the Prime Minister's own house, but his home turbine didn't stay up for long, and he can't now claim the subsidy himself. Cameron did try to lead by example on environmental policy, going to great lengths to promise the greenest government ever, one that says it is still committed to renewable energy, just not to these tiny solo solar projects. Yet these small schemes are the only way most of us can feel we're part of a clean fuel future.
We've seen individuals change their behaviour as a result of installing solar power. We've seen up to 65% of people who've installed solar power significantly reduce the amount of energy they use because they're seeing where their energy is coming from. So I think what's really interesting about solar, it plays a different role from just generating power. It's not just about megawatts, it's actually about changing people's behaviour.
But it was the megawatts that attracted commercial companies. Many have been making handsome profits at our expense, while the cost of solar panels has dropped significantly. So everyone agrees subsidies should drop as well. By cutting them in half, though, the government's making clear they don't think solar is worth it. Not with our weather.
Sarah Smith reporting.